Hello, hi, welcome to Edge of Stone Sisters. I am Sarah, and I am here with my wonderful friend Kathy, and we are going to do some quick check-ins with you. Kathy, I'll start, okay?
Yep.
What has been going on? It seems like I've been busy the last couple of weeks with various things. I started as a coach, so I've been coaching folks. That's one thing, and I'm getting coaching, so that's another thing. But also with medical stuff. And I went to the dentist and I walked in and I've been seeing the same wonderful woman for 30 years. And I just said to her, it makes me feel like so divided. I come in and I can't wait to see you because she's just this lovely soul, but who wants to be here? I mean, really,
Right.
it's not where I want to be, but she's so gentle and kind. And we were catching up and then the interesting thing, and I'm just going to mention this, not going to do any dive into it, but there's all this stuff about he's a sleep apnea specialist as well as a dentist. So now there's all this stuff about I don't snore, but I wake up at night, sometimes a few times. And he was looking at my tongue and my tongue does something weird. It does something, he said, it does something that could be an indicator of that I'm protecting my airway or I don't understand. So it's up to me now whether I want to get a sleep test. There's just a couple of indicators and I was having acid reflux and that could be a symptom of sleep apnea. And oh my gosh, it's just going to the dentist used to be simple, and I appreciate him. He's a wonderful dentist, wonderful, wonderful man, wonderful dentist. But it's now I never thought I would be thinking about this, but now I have to decide about a sleep study, but I'll talk to my doc and figure it out. But it was just interesting how everything connected, the way the tongue was and the waking up and the acid reflux. And yeah, so we need to do another sleep episode at some point.
That is interesting because I never heard of a dentist being also a sleep specialist. So that's interesting.
I think he's a sleep apnea specialist. They can do a device instead of getting those machines. And I'm just learning about this. They can do some sort of device that goes in you at night instead. So there's a dental appliance that is also used for sleep apnea.
Okay. And I think I have heard of that, but I didn't know you get it from a dentist.
And you can go home. For the sleep test, you can pick up the equipment and then get it at home.
That's for sleep apnea, though, not necessarily for snoring.
Well, snoring, they think that the new thing on this is any snoring could be sleep apnea.
Could be,
or some form. There's different forms of sleep apnea. Yeah. And I don't want to again, I am just learning. So anyone listening to this, you realize that. But they question any snoring now, even a little snoring.
Okay, well, I have to stop you here because we're going to do a whole sleep episode if we don't shift topics soon.
Sorry.
But you're right. We should follow this up with another episode about sleep in the future. Like this keeps coming up. I don't know if that's function of our age or what's happening in our lives. I don't know, but
I was just getting my teeth cleaned. That's all I was doing when this came up. That's all I was doing.
Okay. All right. But you see now some of what I have to talk about involves sleep also, because what's happening in my life is number one, I finished my intermittent online job that was taking up a lot of my time. So now I have a lot more free time, but it's a teaching job. So it is a thing that weighs on me and affects my sleep. And then also I'm, this whole conflict that I've been having with my husband who wants to watch war coverage on the news, like very frequently throughout the day and for long periods of time. And even though I understand why he wants to and what it means to him, I can't. And it's become, a bit of a controversy between us, even though we kind of understand each other's viewpoint. He acknowledges this. It's not something that there's anything we can do about other than donate money at this point. But he just feels the need to see it a lot. And if we get into bed at night and he wants to watch 2 hours of news, and this is what I'm seeing before I sleep, that's a problem. So again, another issue for our future sleep episode, part 2.
Yes, for sure. Because that's multi-layered. That's content layered and screen layered. And it's just it's multi-layered in terms of sleep, just looking at it through the lens of sleep.
Yes. I don't know. I mean, it becomes very complex But again, we don't want to do this whole episode focused on our personal lives. This is just a check-in. So we should shift to our topic of the day. Are you ready?
I'm ready. You announce it.
Okay. The topic for today is underwear, undergarments, how it affects our lives, maybe a little bit about the history of undergarments. But I want to start by saying that I have a confession about undergarments. And I think this is something that you don't know about me at all.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So my confession is that at the age of very close to 65, I still wear bikini underwear.
Wow.
The same bikini underwear that I've been wearing for 30 years. And I know how long because John buys it for me. He puts it in my stocking at Christmas every year, the same underwear.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll give me 5 or 6 new pair every year. And that's what I wear. And, one of the things that I find interesting about undergarments is that, most of the women that I've talked to have said, no, that their need for different kinds of the kind of underwear that they wear to change over time, based on the changes in their bodies or whatever. And my body has changed, as most people's do, but my underpants has stayed the same.
And it's comfortable. That's my question for you, because I wasn't surprised with your age that you're wearing bikini underwear. I'm sure other people do, even at 75, 80, or older. But is it comfortable for you? That's my question.
It's not. Yeah. So comfort, I think, is a very big part of the issue of underwear and undergarments, right? About the whole issue of comfort. So are they comfortable? They are comfortable. They're not extreme. They're not thongs. They're pretty standard bikini underwear, but they're, little, very narrow at the sides. But I guess I'm so used to it.
Right.
They fit me differently than they used to, but I still feel basically comfortable.
That's interesting, because I was talking to a friend yesterday about that we were going to do this topic. I was mentioning it, and she said, "Oh, somebody in her family says, oh, there you go with your granny panties." So This is like the opposite of the granny panties. So yeah, it's just, and I wear something in between. It's not the bikini, but it's the whatever's next. It's a little bigger than the bikini, but it's not like a granny panty.
Okay. But you don't wear
is it called
panties.
briefs? I don't know what it's called.
Sounds good to me. But you don't wear granny panties.
I don't wear. The thing that amazed me more than anything, because you know how I'm constantly changing things up. That's just something I do in life. The thing that amazed me more was when you said you've been doing the same thing all those years.
Exactly
with the underwear.
The same style.
That's exactly the same style.
Yeah.
Because I've tried a few different. I just kind of buy whatever's calls to me at the time. And there's another whole issue about this. Men's underwear. Another friend was saying to me they feel more comfortable wearing when they're with a partner, sometimes wearing men's underwear. And I used to do that. I used to borrow Don's underwear.
Okay, but here's another thing. I mean, to further my confession, if I wore John's underwear, I would still be wearing bikini underwear.
Oh, okay. So he does. So he's just in a cult. Let's just face it. John's in a cult. He's in a cult of bikini underwear. He insures it. It's either the anti-granny panty or it's the bikini underwear cult. I don't know.
How is it a cult?
I just think now that I hear you both for all these decades have been wearing bikini underwear, it feels a little cultish to me.
Okay. I don't really get that, but okay. I mean, it's really, I've done a cult of two because it's me and him. No, he's not talking to anybody else. He's not trying.
Wait.
He's not trying to get other people to wear bikini underwear.
First it was you. I was suspicious. Wait. First it was you. Then it was him. I was thinking, is this growing? Is this is he sending out bikini underwear to all the people?
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, you might be right. You might be right. I'm going to tell you why. Because my other story about underwear involves a series of pranks that have happened between me and my neighborhood friends, 3 other couples, that involve a package of men's bikini underwear. Not John's.
I told you so.
But one of my friends found this package of bikini underwear, like from the 70s, in a package in his barn that, the barn of the house that he bought. They're not his. He just found them in this barn and brought them to a dinner party and gave them out as a prize. So the person who won those underwear had the package of underwear. A few months later, Halloween happened. And I had 3 pumpkins in front of my house. And he took the 3 pair of underwear from the package. He put one on top of each pumpkin and left them in front of the house of the guy who found the underwear.
I told you this was
those
cultish.
Underwear made their way to my other friend who wrapped them up and put a ribbon and a Christmas ornament hook on each of them and made Christmas ornaments out of them. So yeah, maybe there's a cult. I don't know, but I don't know if those people are wearing bikini underwear.
When I come to your house, I'm going to be nervous about this. I'm going to be looking in the yard, in the gardens, and is it going to be the attack of the bikini underwear? I mean, this is like, I don't know. This is growing.
Well, when you come, you may have to swear before we let you in the house that you are wearing bikini underwear. So
all right, I'm going to buy some over the next week. I'm going to the store tomorrow and getting some. I'm not going to take any.
And you know what that means? That means you're now part of the cult.
Okay. That, it's so interesting when I think about the when you said like the underwear stories, I think about, I would wear, especially when I was in my 20s and 30s, I would wear sometimes Dawn's underwear. And somehow Dawn's mother was staying with us, and somehow she discovered that.
Oh,
and
boy.
She was she was trying to be so accepting of me because I'm kind of quirky, and she was going out of her way to just be accepting. But she was concerned because she said, what if you wind up in the hospital? Something happens, there's an accident, you wind up in the hospital, and they see that that's what you have on.
Well, this is a classic issue about underwear, right? A lot of people, for my whole life, people have said you have to be careful of the underwear that you wear in case you go to the hospital.
I guess to be honest with you, I never thought about it until she said it was a concern. The other thing, and I'm wondering if she ironed her husband's underwear. I'm not sure, but I know some people do that. I don't get that. I'm sorry. No disrespect meant at all, but just trying to understand the ironing of underwear.
No, my mother did that.
Really? Her own underwear or just her partner?
My dad's underwear when they were first married. I'm sure it's the same, boxer underwear that some guys wear. Was the thing at that time.
Yeah, I guess so. So that's another thing. I remember hearing about my stepmom and my dad. I guess they didn't have, for some reason, he didn't have his laundry done or something. I don't know what was going on. He had an appointment in New York City, and he had to wear my mom's underwear under his suit, or dress pants or something. And then he had to take a bus. And now the buses had these big steps. He could barely get on the bus. She was a small, petite woman. Think about her, small, petite woman.
How did he even get them on?
I don't know how he got them on. I don't know how they stayed on.
Okay.
But he had so much trouble lifting his leg to get on the bus. And then I think he was just laughing because, what was he going to say? They must have thought he had back problems or just somehow he threw himself on the bus somehow.
Well, that would bring up the idea of why you need underwear at all. Why do we need underwear? Like, why didn't he just go without underwear rather than wear something very uncomfortable?
That's a good point. I didn't get to ask him that. I don't know. It's interesting. I looked up a little bit of the history. I don't know where the site is that I looked at, but a little bit of the history of underwear. And it's all started with men, like way back with the loincloths, of course. That's the early underwear.
Wore loincloths, and then that became underwear when they started to wear pants.
I don't know about that, but that was the earliest underwear, I think, like around 5000 BC.
Well, in terms of the history of underwear, like I was noticing recently when I was watching Bridgerton. Did you ever watch Bridgerton?
Yes.
Okay. So the setting, I think, is late 1800s. and the women wear very elaborate dresses. I mean, aside from the fact that they're, the ruling class of England at the time. So they wear very elaborate clothing in general. And then when you see them without those dresses on, they have also very elaborate underwear with like very full coverage underwear.
Mm-hmm. Like those corsets.
Corsets, yeah, and like bloomer kind of things.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
I don't know how those women function in those kind of dresses, that outer clothing that's so hard to move around in. But then to think that they also have this ridiculous underwear underneath with like elastic in 12 places and the corsets and not being able to breathe.
Well, that's such an interesting thing because like for men, the underwear was about being protective. And for women, it became, I mean, there were all these different century to century, there were all these different styles, but it became like sometimes accentuating the small waist and, all that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kind of,
The
all that
Gone with the
stuff, all
Wind,
that,
Scarlett
yes,
O'Hara
yes.
wanting to have a 17-inch waist.
Doing those things with the figure. And it sounds so uncomfortable. And then the girdle. And I guess when I was a kid, the girdle was still, I don't know if is the girdle still around?
I still have girdles in my drawer.
You're kidding me.
I wore them when I was a young woman.
I never knew you wore a girdle. I'm learning about you. Oh my God.
Not a lot, not often.
Can we do an art project with your girdle?
You can have them. I don't wear them anymore. Why do I still have them?
I'd love to cut it up and do an art project.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, thank you. But that I'm learning something. No, I've never had the girdle.
Look for that package in the mail.
What about bras?
Okay, so we talked about this a little bit previously. So this is a big divide between you and I because you don't like to wear one at all, and I always wear, a pretty sturdy underwire bra always from the time I get dressed in the morning until I take my clothes off at night.
Okay. I mean, well, I'll speak for myself first. So I don't, I find them not comfortable. And so I just, I'm fairly small breasted, not as small as when I was super thin, but now, however I am, my body is, but it's still, I'm still not, I'm fairly small breasted. So I feel much more comfortable not wearing one, but it came about also, it has a whole emotional tie in my life because when my daughter was in getting surgery like a decade ago, and I was in the hospital for like 9 days with her after the surgery, I would sleep there at night and I didn't I have a bra to change into. And I just thought, well, heck, I'm not going to wear a bra. And somehow that period of my life taking care of her, then it just realized the bra was secondary. Like, just forget the bra. I need to be comfortable in a nice t-shirt and not worry about the bra. So that started.
Don't you think that you were comfortable because you're not that large breasted? I mean, I'm larger breasted and I would feel things move around.
My question for you is like, why do you wear the bra all the time, even when you're just home during the day?
Yeah, because it is more comfortable. Because it holds things in place.
Which is the whole purpose of the bra.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I like that really works. But if you're not large breasted, then I don't know that there's all that much point.
I don't notice them.
Oh, I think like societally, I can't get this word out. Okay. So in terms of like societal expectations, there's something about not showing your nipples.
Yes. But that's why I was asking you when you're home and you're not with anybody,
Yeah, no, for me, it's always
the nipples thing is not that. Yeah, there's a societal thing about not showing nipples. And I think it's starting to shift a little bit more acceptance. But yes, there is a societal thing. But I am conscious of if I'm going to an appointment or out in the world shopping or doctor's office of wearing a tank top if there's a chance that my nipples are going to be showing. So I do wear
the tank top is underneath. To hide your nipples.
Yes.
Yes. So you do think about it, whether or not your nipples will be noticeable.
Yes. Yes, yeah. Because it's like a kind of big societal thing. Yeah.
See, when we were teenagers, there was the whole like bra burning thing. Right. And I tried going braless because that was the thing. And my parents were hysterical. Mm-hmm. I mean, first of all, they weren't in favor of the whole bra burning feminism concept at all. And
Mhm.
second of all, my nipples were showing.
Right.
And that was completely unacceptable.
Yeah. Well, I guess I do it. I don't know. I'm so torn because in many ways I feel so free. I would probably go grocery shopping in my pajama bottoms and, not think twice about it.
Right.
But, and I'm not self conscious that much. But in other ways, I feel like it is maybe because the nipple thing is such a widespread societal thing. It's like a sign of respect to not, to not show my nipples. This is quite the issue. Wow.
Yeah, but like that whole not show your nipples thing to me is connected to the concept that women have to be very aware of men not being aroused.
Uh-huh.
There's an expectation on women to prevent men from being aroused, like intentionally.
To cover up. But listen, there's a twist on this.
Yeah.
I agree with you. But
Okay.
with bras, when I was looking at all the different kinds of bras, some of the bras show cleavage. And so they're used to uplift the breast. And then
Yes.
women wear these shirts and these dresses and show all kinds of cleavage.
Well, that's
So the
interesting
bra,
because, yes, right. So, but the cleavage somehow is an acceptable level of, I don't know, revelation, as opposed to your nipple showing. Like you could show your entire breast, but not your nipple.
wow. It's fascinating to me because that doesn't fit with what you just said in a way, because that's so enticing I would think cleavage is enticing, period. Men, women, whoever, but
Right. Yeah, no, it's
enticing.
true.
It's just, so there's a contradiction.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. Why is it acceptable to arouse a man with your cleavage, but not your nipple? I mean, it's true that your nipple is like the sensitive part of your
Yes.
breast. So maybe like you want to attract male attention, but you don't want to get them thinking too much about arousal, yours
Right.
or theirs. I don't know.
Wow. Then the other thing is, I mean, there's so many purposes for the bra that do make sense for me, in the sense that exercising, like,
Oh, yeah.
marathon runners or jogging or people doing yoga or just all this, sports bras, I can see that it's more comfortable if you're doing all these physical things.
I couldn't go to Zumba class without a sports bra on. It would be painful.
Yes. Yes. So
Again,
I see
it goes back to like my comfort.
it is functional. It is functional, but then there's all these other societal aspects.
Yeah, it is. It's
so
interesting.
It's really interesting.
And my kids, like especially Greg and Nicole being the younger of my
Mhm.
kids, think that it's offensive to expect women to have to think about or control how aroused men get. So
That
in
it's
other words,
offensive.
it should be totally acceptable to wear whatever revealing clothing you want, or or how little clothing you wear out on the street. So like it's wrong for women to have to worry about that. Like men should control that.
Like that's putting a burden on women, an inappropriate burden on women,
Yes.
to have them have to dress differently. Right. Yeah. And it should be based on the woman's just, how whatever's comfortable and whatever's they like, Yeah.
Yes,
I see.
That's what they say.
I see that point, but I think it's also very complicated.
It's very complicated. I mean, I'm sorry, no matter what, I don't want my very pretty and, by the way, rather well-endowed daughter on the subway in New York City in very scanty clothing.
Right.
Like whether she thinks it's okay for her to have to worry about it, I think she has to worry about it.
Right. Well, we live in a world, you have to realize, like, she's living in a place with a huge population, so many different people, so many different mindsets, so many different issues, struggling. You have to realize that not everybody's on the same plane as they are thinking about this.
Right.
And it's just, and also, I think it's so much more complex. I'm with you. I think that the subway and at night and a covering up is more.
I mean, this is kind of getting
safe.
into another topic, but it comes back to underwear, because like one thing that's fashionable among women her age is to have very like a very sexy looking bra and
Hmm.
show quite a bit of that bra.
Yes.
The bra is not necessarily entirely underclothing.
Right.
It's part of the outfit. It's a visible part of the outfit. Another thing that I thought about underwear, which is why is lace considered sexy if it's, well, I mean, it's kind of true if it's overgarment also.
Because it's somewhat revealing of skin, but it's enticing. Aesthetically, I get it. Aesthetically,
Yeah.
I get why lace is sexy. Also, there can be kind of prim and proper lace dresses that go all the way up to your chin, and
Yeah,
it's a different. But sometimes I
true.
see,
That's true.
why are lacy gloves sexy?
Yeah,
It's just, there's some aesthetic to it.
because your
I,
skin shows through.
your skin shows through, and it's delicate. I don't know, some things I'm not expressing this well, but I'm just saying I do get it. Oh wow. And I'm just thinking, like, these people that the bras, there's so many incarnations of them. And also with the underwear, the businesses must make a fortune.
With what?
With
Selling different.
selling bras and underwear.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
like, it's here to stay, even in spite of my, being braless, and it's here to stay.
Well, I think one of the reasons I was thinking about lace is because there was a period of time when I had a black lace bathing suit, not when I was very young. So this is a bathing suit that has like a skirt. So it's a skirty
Mhm.
suit that women tend to wear as they get older, like granny panties, only, at the beach, so everybody can see it. But it was black lace. And this annoyed my mother no end.
I had the same bathing suit. I almost am sure that when it's similar, very similar, when I saw it on you or saw it in a photo of you, and I bought such a similar one.
Uh-huh.
I think it was almost the same bathing suit, but it annoyed your mother. That annoyed your mother.
Yeah, because she thought it was inappropriate for me to be trying to look sexy.
Oh my gosh. So the shop was supposed to be closed. You were no longer you were in your 30s, shut
Yeah.
down, no more sexy. Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
I had
And that's
children already.
all that was done.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing to me. That's a whole other episode.
Again, it's a different topic, but it connects to underwear because it looked like underwear. And bathing suits after a while did become to look more and more like underwear.
True.
Right?
True. Absolutely. Wow.
So can I tell one more mother-in-law story about underwear?
Yes.
Okay. So my first mother-in-law, when I was married the first time, at one point asked me to bring my husband's underwear to her house so she could make sure it was white enough.
and then probably iron it, just to bring more into that.
Probably.
And then, yeah, but wait, did he wear, now the question is, did he wear bikini underwear?
No, he wore tighty whities.
Tighty whities, which are much more comfortable for women. Like, if I'm going to wear a man's underwear, I want the tighty whities.
Yeah, see, no tighty whities here in our house.
I don't find, especially men's bikini underwear. Well, I've never actually worn a man's bikini underwear, just to be clear. Yeah.
Well, I've worn John's underwear and it feels pretty much like my own. His is heavy cotton though. Mine is.
It's not like a Lycra thing. You're not doing Lycra?
No, okay. Mine are like a typical polyester, and his are a heavy cotton.
Oh, okay. That's different than I was imagining, these shiny Lycra spandex things. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, no, they look a little bit like that, I think.
Shiny cotton. Oh my God.
They do have elastic bands.
Now, I want a commitment about the girdles. I'm going to get the girdles from you.
Look for that package. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll get the girdles, and I'm going to both photocopy them for backgrounds for my art, and then I'm going to cut them up and put them into collages. And I have all kinds of ideas. I mean, it will evolve. So we'll have to talk about that.
No, this is fantastic because it gives me a good reason to get them out of my drawer.
Fantastic. I love that. See, I'm grateful to this. I'm grateful to this topic. I mean, it's going to have a whole other life with this art. I'm really grateful.
So now let's talk about something else.
Now let's talk about something else. We'd love to hear from you, our listeners, with any questions, any thoughts, responses, and comments, and also any ideas you might have for future episodes.
Yes, and you can reach us at stonesisterspodcast@gmail.com. That's Stone Sisters Podcast, all one word, at gmail.com. And we'd really love to hear from you.